Um, Your Excellency, the Vice President of this transformation government, distinguished senators, members of the House of Representatives, members of the Federal Executive Council. I'm here to do a short message from the Senate President. The Senate President wants to congratulate the federal government, the executive arm, for bringing all these investors to change and transform our power sector. And he has three challenging questions, because we believe that where there is problem, then there is more profit for the investors. There are three areas which I believe the investors will be looking at. When you generate power, let's say you generate 10 megawatts, it is said that in our transmission and distribution line we lose 5 megawatts, which is 50% of what you produce. Who is going to pay for that? But I'm happy because you have the investors here, which means it's an area where you will make more profit if you invest in that area. I want to take you back in history when Westinghouse and General Electric, remember Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison were fighting on alternative current and direct current. But in 1898, when in Niagara Falls, the first turbine, the first electricity produced out of nature was done by Nikola Tesla, and it was taken to Buffalo, then to New York. That was when everybody agreed that alternative current is the answer. In history today, we talk about the mobile technology. No nation that want to move forward today will be talking about digital or analog, or other telephone lines. We are talking about mobile telecom. Today there's a breakthrough in the area of nanotechnology. Nigeria is a carbon economy. The copper wire that is used in the transmission, distribution, and in generation of electricity loses, because every metal, for those of us that did physics know that it will heat up, it takes 38% of the heat before it starts transmitting. But you can use your gas to do carbon nanotube fiber, and which means you have almost zero loss on the distribution line. You have a super grid that other countries are starting. So since Nigeria today has less than 2% of what it requires, the next distribution line can be based on the new technology that are available, and I'm happy other GE and others are here. So next investment, the challenge is, why don't we invest in the technology of today? It is estimated that nanotechnology will be 30,000 times bigger than ICT. So for those, and I was explaining to somebody, Nigeria was formed as Royal Niger Company by Lugard, so that it formed, Lugard, who was the officer of Royal Niger Company. Today, UAC is worth $3.5 billion, but MTN alone is worth $10 billion. And I believe it's an area which you should look at for the investors. The transmission and distribution is a challenge to you. Bring new technology and work with our governments so that you don't have to go back. We are not United. We don't have to put the old system today. And many countries have challenges of people stealing copper wire, even in the villages. So I want you to look at that area. It's an area where you can get 300% return, just like Apple and others are doing. I know most of the investment done by the developed nations are in the area of healthcare for nano, because that is where your highest priority is. But in Nigeria, our priority is power. So what you are investing for healthcare and others, you should use it here in Nigeria. It's an area which I want the investors to look at. The second area, I'm an actuary, is pension funds invest for 20-25 years, but they want a sustained returns on their investment, and they also want security of their investment. And I'm happy the National Assembly will not change any law based on that. So the investors are here. If you can come up with, let's say, $100 billion investment to go through the Nigerian Stock Exchange, so that Nigerians that want to partner with foreigners, since Nigerian investors now have local capacity. So what you need is a liquid, so that you have liquidity in the system, but also an adequate return. I'm sure the BlackRock and others would look at it, but it's an area, a global investment fund, just for power, like $100 billion to go through the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So any investor here that want to work on it can look at it. The third area, Senate President said I should tell you there will be no change in law for the next 20-25 years. And for the lawyers under Nigerian law, once you make an investment, it's like marriage, you have already furnished consideration, so there will be no change. I see people laughing because that's an area which concerns every investor, and I'm happy everybody in this room, this is that should be here are here. These are the three areas that I want you to look at. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Saminu Turaki there, representing the Senate President, David Mark. Now, let me now invite the chairman of the Senate Committee on Power, our host committee, if I may say, and his distinguished Senator Philip Taminu Aduda. So we apologize for that mix-up earlier.
The Vice President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Sorry. Your Excellency, the Vice President, sorry about the mix-up. The Senate Committee Chairman on Privatization, the House of Reps Committee Chairman on Power, Honorable Minister Power, Honorable Minister of the Coordinating Economy, Honorable Minister Trade and Investment, Governor Kogi State, Deputy Governor Kaduna State, Minister of State for Finance. Let me start by welcoming investors to this private sector financing support for the power sector, and to urge all that have come, the investors, to interact amongst yourselves to bring investments to Nigeria. Indeed, the power sector of Nigeria, it's like the telecom in Nigeria today, and I urge all those who have come